Best anime series on Netflix right now. Netflix has been steadily increasing their selection of anime content over the last couple years since the successful launch of their original series like Devilman, Crybaby and Godzilla City on the Edge of the Battle. Instead of just dropping them all at once, they have been releasing seasons in batches, allowing you to get the next episode as it's done airing on Japanese networks. The slow increase of new anime content that started with the second season of Netflix originals has finally ended. Now, there are tons of best anime series on Netflix that everyone can watch instantly. Check out our suggestions and find the perfect one for you. The best anime series on Netflix right now is ever-changing, and it gives fans of the hit genre a reason to stay subscribed to the streaming service. With so many new anime shows being added, you are bound to find something that speaks your taste, whether it's comedy or drama, action or romance. This list ranks recent Netflix originals along with classics like Dragon Ball Z. Even if you have already seen some of them before, there is always a room for something new. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe and like our video for more top 10 videos. Starting with our number 10, Great Pretender. Makoto Idamura is a conman who is said to be Japan's greatest swindler. One day, after trying to pickpocket a foreigner, Idamura finds that all of his money was stolen instead. Chasing the man down all the way to Los Angeles, he learns the foreigner is Laurent Thierry, a French conman who has ties to international criminal organizations. After Idamura follows Thierry and thwarts his big drug deal, Idamura gets tied up and left to die on the famous Hollywood sign. I love this show until the last arc. I genuinely thought that it would go down as one of my favorites of all time. The art is fantastic. Every scene looks like it could be a convincing computer wallpaper. The animation is super fluid, the music and sound design is exceptional. And until that last arc, the character development and plot seemed just as good. I felt attached to the main cast, invested in their backstories and growth as they worked, and read more. One of the best Netflix anime series that we have watched. Number 9. Blue Period. Yatora is the perfect high school student with good grades and lots of friends. It's an effortless performance and ultimately a dull one. But he wanders into the art room one day and a lone painting captures his eye, awakening him to a kind of beauty he never knew. Compelled and consumed, he dives in headfirst, and he is about to learn how savage and unforgiving art can be. Story-wise, the anime stays faithful to the manga, so the story and the characters are great. Most of the characters behave and sound exactly the way I imagined them to, so I think they did a great job selecting the cast. Really enjoyed the music as well. The postmodern, whimsical pop music really fit well with the theme and the struggle of the characters. Number 8. Yasuke. Story was not the best, the art was decent, but the sound was just out of place. You would think it would have more traditional Japanese music, being an anime that takes place in feudal Japan. However, it had more electronic music. Although it wasn't bad, it was just strange to hear and didn't fit the vibe of the show. So many things felt out of the place. The flying robots, the characters, and the magic. It seemed like it was all over the place. Some of the fights were pretty cool, but you would have some fights where it would be just swords and then others where it would be people throwing tail-based bombs at each other. Some characters had no background or origin story, so there is no real emotional attachment to any of them, and they didn't go in depth into any of the characters really, so as the watcher, I didn't feel anything personal when anything happened to any of the characters. It should be on our number 10, but you know me. Number 7. Castlevania. One of the best Netflix anime series out there. When his wife is murdered by the church, the powerful vampire Dracula exacts his revenge by unleashing all the powers of hell upon Wallachia. Wandering a land now plagued by hordes of demonic creatures, Trevor Belmont, the last son of the excommunicated Belmont clan, seeks to defeat Dracula. He is aided by the power of Sifa Belnates and Alucard, Dracula's estranged son. I have been a big fan of Castlevania since I was a kid, playing all the handheld games such as Harmony. Moving on to number 6, Devilman Crybaby. The protagonist Akira Fudo learns from his best friend, Ryo Asuka, that an ancient race of demons has returned to take back the world from humans. Ryo tells Akira that the only way to defeat the demons is to incorporate their supernatural powers and suggests that he unite with the demon himself. Akira succeeds in transforming into Devilman, who possesses both the powers of a demon and the soul of a human. The battle of Devilman and Akira Fudo begins. Number 5. Be the Beginning. A really twisted psychological story that will keep you in and wanting to know what will happen next. The whole story is in future with some sci-fi, but cars and building and some background features looks like in 40s or something around that time. The series is set in the future where scientists have tried to breed the perfect human in hopes of keeping peace in the universe. After nearly achieving their goal through 3 children, the scientists send their new humans for further training where they are kidnapped by an evil organization set on using their powers to implement their own concept of a new world order. Overall, you can watch it if you have time. Number 4. Erased. Satoru Fujinuma is a reclusive part-timer with no plans for the future. What sets him apart from other slackers in his town is an involuntary time travel ability that allows him to jump back several seconds in time in order to prevent accidents and even deaths. As incidents around the town begin reminding Satoru of a childhood trauma he'd sooner forget, he finally begins to question what caused his ability to surface and whether or not it's powerful enough to change the past. Time travel isn't anything new to anime. We have seen it done again and again and again. Sure, some stories really throw a curveball into a mind-blowing plot, while others bite the dust of overused concepts. Every single episode of Erased is a cliffhanger. You want to know what's going to happen next every single time. It isn't your typical better go back in time and save some friend story. Moving on to number 3, Your Lie in April. Kuze Arima is a child prodigy known as the human metronome for playing the piano with precision and perfection. Guided by a strict mother and rigorous training, Kosi dominates every competition he enters, earning the admiration of his musical peers and praise from audiences. When his mother suddenly passes away, the subsequent trauma makes him unable to hear the sound of a piano and he never takes the stage thereafter. Nowadays, Kosi lives in a quiet and unassuming life as a junior high school student alongside his friends Tsubaki Sawabi and Royuta Watari. While struggling to get over his mother's death, he continues to clinch music. His monochrome life turns upside down the day he encounters the eccentric violinist Kaori Miyazono, who thrusts him back to the spotlight as her accompanist. Through a little lie, these two young musicians grow closer together as Kaori tries to fill Kozi's world with color. Number 2. Dorohedoro. The City of Hole is a desolate town where magic users go to test their powers by disfiguring or killing its people. After being cursed by a sorcerer, Kaiman was left with the body of a man and the head of a lizard. Determined to break the spell over him, Kaiman works with his companion Nikaido to research for the one who made him this way. Unfortunately, with no memory as to his assailant's identity, there is only one way for him to locate them. He must bite the head of any magic user he meets so that the man hidden inside him can determine if they are the culprit. As he bites, slashes, and kills his way through the cruel magic users, will Kaiman be able to find out who the man in his mouth is, where the one he hunts is hiding and return to normal while keeping the revengeful magic users at bay? And finally, number 1. Beastars. In a civilized society of anthropomorphic animals, an uneasy tension exists between carnivores and herbivores. At Cheriton Academy, this mutual distrust peaks after a predation incident results in the death of them, an alpaca in the school's drama club. Tem's friend Legoshi, a grey wolf in the stage crew, has been an object of fear and suspicion for his whole life. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, he continues to lay low and hide his menacing traits, much to the disapproval of Louis, a red deer and the domineering star actor of the drama club. When Louis sneaks into the auditorium to train Tem's replacement for an upcoming play, he assigns Legoshi to lookout duty. That very night, Legoshi has a fateful encounter with Haru, a white dwarf rabbit scorned by her peers. His growing feelings for Haru, complicated by his predatory instincts, forced him to confront his own true nature, the circumstances surrounding the death of his friend, and the undercurrent of violence plaguing the world around him. And this was it for our today's video. If you enjoyed watching, make sure you drop a like on this video, and also comment section are open for any type of suggestion or query. And make sure you're subscribed to We Love Anime, as we assure you guys on bringing more hot content like this one. Till then, see ya and peace out.